Alright, howdy everyone. It is back. I don't know. I try and build a breacher. Oh my god, what is this thing doing? Stop. 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 Oh my god. What is the webcam doing? Why? Logitech. Okay, but if I go that way too much, it goes. Okay. We love it. We love Logitech. Getting stuck in a loop of broken autofocusing. Yeah. Anyway, I'm here to try and build a breacher again because yeah, I got it partway done. Uh Thursday. Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Uh pretty and then, it's still just in a bunch of pieces though, because turns out uh there's a lot to a breacher. There's just a lot of it. Let me be can I copy that link? Get shareable link. All right. We're gonna do. I forgot to post links, so what is this difference between the two links it gives me? What is a shareable? Whatever. Anyway, I'm sure everybody. I'm just gonna start moving stuff over to the desk. That won't stand up. That's in the way. A little bag of parts while I copy links. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to do a big brain move. Of just going to all the channels. Oh, that's not the right channel. Alright, and then forward that. Breacher, self-promo, nerf, video links, propaganda. Ow. That's good. Who is pinging me already? Saying I couldn't build the breacher in 45 minutes. Yes. Maybe. I might be. Cool. YouTube is already dropping frames. Let's go. Alright. I'm leaving some disparaging remarks in DMs before I continue. Alright, so. There's so many pieces of breacher that I have to get out. Here's a tube with a springy bit. Ah. Oop. Here's a random piece. Actually, that doesn't have anything in it, so I can leave that in here. Bar or rods. I totally know the difference between a rod and a bar. I think that was the last piece I had to move. Muzzle. I don't want any most of this out. I feel like I should leave most of this in here and just grab it. Anyway. Work mat that's still covered in purple plastic. Thank you, Logitech. Someone else's kits. Nah, not even... Yeah, mice. Okay, you know what? Just for Bear, I'm gonna point out, yes, I did beta self-sourced, or self-source these beta kits. It was awful. Cutting stuff is annoying, getting stuff to the right size is a pain. I'm gonna have to continue receiving DMs. I'm gonna have to chase these rods to make them not all shitty on the end. If you want a breacher kit, bearswares.com. I think it's bearswares.com. Bearswares.shop. That's my bad. Breacher by Sillybutts. Is this... Yeah, hardware only, 65 bucks, yeah. Can't argue with that. Oh my god, I know. Ooh. Why am I getting emails already? Oh, that's an important email. I will look at that shortly. Yeah. Self-sourcing the hardware costs like 80 bucks a person for 5 people. Bear has it up for 65 bucks. But like, literally cheaper than doing it yourself. You can't argue with that. Why is... Alright. So. What I need today is some of these here number 8 nuts. Which is a standard size that sucks because everything SAE kind of sucks. So, alright, that one goes on fine because that is an end that I didn't cut. This end probably does not go on fine because it is an end that I cut. Okay, well, it worked out. Does it go into a heat set, though? It does. Okay, that one works. That one. I got out easy on that one. What about this one? Does this one work? Alright, this one's a lot more snug. So I will actually, like, take a normal steel nut. Try and thread it on there. Alright. Alright, there we go. That one's sufficiently chased. Okay, that one's fine. One of these here will probably suck because both ends were cut. Okay, that one's fine. That one's fine. I know I had one the other day that, like, I tried to thread it, and I was like, oh, this sucks. They must all be messed up. Maybe I had a bad heat set. Maybe it wasn't the threaded rod. Maybe it was the heat set. That one kind of sucks, but it threads on. So like, okay, well, that was supposed to be a lot more effort than it was. Yay, we've saved time today. What is going on? I have to go check this email. Maryland Mayhem stuff. Woo. Okay, well. It was... Alright. I have to pull the instructions back up because I don't remember where I was. Alright, so this says... two 8-inch long, which... Am I just missing a threaded rod? Because this looks 8 inches. None of the rest of these are 8 inches. Okay. Give me a second to look through the parts box. Make sure I didn't lose a threaded rod somewhere. I found it. It was not in the box. Behind the box. Okay. These can go back in. That. Throw more stuff over there. That's the part I actually need to work on. Alright. So, we have... stuff falling down. Yeah, we all blame Gunny. Can I refresh this? Did I post the correct link? That seems like it. Alright. So one of these... Let me double check this one now. This one might have been the one that sucked. Well, that one threads on. Threads on. Threads on. Okay. I don't know. They all thread in, so like. So, get out the two 8-inch long. Are these? How close to 8-inch did I actually make these? Because I know there was tolerances for the numbers wasn't quite defined. That is on the dot. That is a smidge over. Should be fine. So we're gonna put the end that kind of sucks out here. Because then we have the nice cleaner end to work with later on. And that is called looking out for yourself. So, those go into the back of here. That lined up perfectly. First try. Alright. Both lined up. Alright. And those just kind of sit in there like that. Lighting, what is it? And then I need to put a couple of screws in there to just keep the nuts captive. Welcome November. Both of these screws, I don't remember what the correct size That seems like a pretty good drill there for it, so. Ah! It's not long enough. Let me go grab an extension. Good ol' Ryobi extension. Okay, that bit is not the correct one. What was I using? Was it... See, this is why Phillips sucks, because you gotta go be like, alright, is this the correct thing? Is this the correct thing? Maybe it was this one. I think it was that one. That one feels a little more correct. That all the way. That is not all the way. So we're going to turn that up a little bit. Little loose. I don't actually know how snug that's supposed to be. Phillips head screws. Okay, I gotta hold this one a little better. Oh, this particular one, 96 key is what you call that. Right, is that snug? That can be more snug. Oh, well, that is the screw getting carved out, so we're gonna... Yeah. Specifically, it's 96 key because it has the F-row and everything. I think... I'm trying to remember... I think if you didn't have an F-row, it'd be like a 85%, I think was the common term for it. It's been a while. I've been out of the keyboards game for a hot minute. I don't know how tightly... These screws need to be in here. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, gotta, like... I've thought about before doing like a 65% layout. But I was like, yeah, if I did that, I'd also pretty much have to get an external numpad. I do too much Excel to not have a numpad handy. Alright. That thing that doesn't exist on this version would have been nicer if it did. The ejector. Hardly know her. What do I have to do here? So we have the ejector. Okay, 2 of the weaker springs, which is good because that's what I have. Luckily, these have just 2 nice little retention spots. They're actually in here. I'm going to take in... Probably don't need to glue these because it's actually retained. But I'm going to do it because it should help it a little bit. A little twist so that they're held in a little bit. There we go. What size spring do I need for this? 20. Well, that says 20. One of these, right? Yeah, there we go. I need to get the drill bit back out to bore out some holes. Put the lid on the super glue before I set my hand on it. And glue my hand to super glue. Alright. Yeah, that doesn't go through that hole very well. Where is my drills? M3, I want a 1/8. 1/8. Go through, bore out this a little bit so that just the top part of it, so that the M3 will like slide in there. There we go, before it hits the actual retention portion. Now, where's my lighter? That could use a bit of defuzzing. I don't know what makes this filament so stringy, but just is. Alright, line it up with the nubs. Lining it up with the nubs. Alright, lined up with the nubs. In theory, oh, yeah, I see the hole. Now. There we go. Cool. There we go. Have a little... That's it. There we go. Alright. Yep, check that I can do the thing, and done! Oh. Okay, well, done, but not done. We'll do the same thing here, because this section an M3 goes through and just needs to pass through. Alright, so this wants the stronger spring. Fortunately, I think this is the... Oh, no, the lifter needs springs. This might be troublesome. It's like this was before the stronger springs were recommended, or even part of the bomb. So, like, this kit came with, like, 12 of the weaker springs. I've done... So where did springs go right now? So I put 4... Yeah, 4 here, 2 there. That should be 6, and there's only 5 remaining, which means... Did another spring go somewhere? Actually, wait a minute. Why does this need... Why does this need strong springs back here if it's also using the extension spring? Weird. But I also think there's a spring short. Do I have an extra spring? I think I should have an extra of these springs. Not in that part of my toothpaste, though. This looks like shellfish parts, but this looks like the same spring. Cool. Okay. We now have 6 of these springs. Let's see. Extension spring is for the shell stop arms. Yeah, the ejector can use the smaller springs. Extractor takes... Yeah, the ejector has just 2 small springs. Ejector takes big springs, but since I only have small ones, I doubled up for the extractor. I have to make this fit back in here now. I have no idea what that O-ring is from that's floating around in my toolbox. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did on mine, is I doubled up on it, which is kind of awful, but... Yeah. And does the... If the lifter... Oh, let me jump ahead. Oh. Lifter only needs weaker springs. So lifter will need 2, this will need 2, so now we're back to 2 extras. So. So scroll back up, because I've now gone... Wait, so this is saying... Oops. Don't mind the noise of stuff falling over. Okay. So that goes on that side. Yep. This goes on that side. We take a potato chip and eat it. Mine's not flat on both sides. Okay, ejector spring. Oof, that's beefy. Alright. And came off already. Cool. And came off again. Alright. It says we slide it into place. I feel like this would be a lot easier if there wasn't 2 threaded rods sticking out the back being in my way, but... And also if it was flat on top. Okay. I will use the Gunpla toolbox to prop it up. And these are now backwards. Is the other one, is the other extension spring, like, flatter than that? It is. A little bit. A little bit, yeah. It's gonna make my life easier. Okay, so it's saying this... This is... Slide it in? Where does it go? It's gotta go outside of there. Okay, hold on a minute. Sanity check, so... Okay. So I need to go that sort of a dealio. Okay, this extension spring kind of sucks, low key. All right. New strat. Try and hold that. So. There you go. Okay, one is in. Ah, there we go. See, you just gotta... You gotta handle it the right way. So this is saying a strong spring, but I feel like it doesn't actually need to be a strong spring. I also just put all the springs back in the bag when I needed 2 of them. Oh, hold on a second. There's a... Cool. Alright, it would appear there is a box of $500 in Beyblades sitting on my front porch. Because I make the best life decisions. Where is the... Hold on a minute. Oh, there's only a spring on one side. Which one is left? Okay, left is this one. Okay. Okay, that's another thing. I didn't realize there was only... I assumed, you know, 2 lifters. That there would be 2 springs. There's not. There's 1 spring. Which means I think I'm actually going to put the screw in 16. I'm going to put the screw in on the right side. So that that has less chance of flying out and injuring my pride. Turn the torque down a little bit. Okay. Now left side. Gotta pre-game a screw. Okay, that spring is in there. That was easier than I thought it would be. Alright. Shell stops. Ah. I assume that's as far as they need to go, because they don't really... Seems like it. I don't know. I was only in the server for the entirety of the development in this. It's not like I should actually know anything about it. Super short, number 4 screws. I'm gonna leave it. Alright, it says done, except for it then says lifter time. Same. Actually, I'm gonna take a moment here to go retrieve that box of Beyblades. You know, I used to have a note card on my desk that said BRB on it. I didn't print any of this. Gunny printed all of these, because this is for Glennon. Gunny printed it, Glennon was supposed to assemble it, and then Glennon's just busy with actually having a job and whatnot. And said, hey, I'll pay you to build it for me. But I guess, yeah, this is the one... The sanding one. Which I saw that, and I'm like, oh, that seems just... That seems more annoying than using screws to adjust. Such a toy. I'm gonna just sit here and spin this. Also, I think Gunny needs glue on his plate because, like, there's definitely something left on these prints. Yeah, back in, like, 2 minutes. Behold, Beyblades. just box of Beyblades. Yeah, where's the... Alright, we interrupt this Breacher build stream for... It's now an unboxing stream. And yeah, I know the webcam's not getting much. Can I move that over there? There we go. There we go, look at... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. 11? Hold on a second while I sanity check myself. 11? Oh. It's just... Oh, just... Bro, there's one just over here. Okay, cool. There we go. 12 of these. If you know, you know. Sneak that out of there. Does that have the... No, where's the... My bay code better be in there. Alright. We will now... I took that out and it's not going back in. That's fine. I'll deal with that later. Oops. Slapped the mic a little bit. Alright. Over here in the corner. Alright, I'll continue this intermission to... Alright, so, back to... this. Yeah, so I'm not enthused by having to need to sand this, especially because as soon as I glue some springs there, they're going to be in the way of sanding. So I'm really kind of hoping it'll just work first try and be good enough. But also, like... Why do you need to sand that part? How does that part work? Does that control how low it goes? It must, because it can't, like, get higher. Anyway. I'm still gonna glue the springs, because I know if I don't, if I do have to, like, take it out to go after... Yeah. I have 3 springs. I do have to take it out to actually sand it down, that I'm going to end up, like, knocking a spring loose, and it's going to fly across the room, and I'll never see it again, and it'll be like, damn it. Yeah, not enthused about the sanding being a thing. if I build one. Well, when that body kit, when that remix of it comes out, that I'm possibly looking at. If I build that, then I would go with, like, the screw adjustable one. Alright, I've lost my instructions because I opened my Beyblade spreadsheet. Read this page and the next 7 pages before beginning the installation. Okay. Other sticky material, whatever. See, this is the sort of thing that, like, I feel like you need it mostly adjusted before you can really... Or mostly assembled. Alright, what size screw goes here? Okay, a 50. Because, yeah, what other size screw would go all the way through this? $50. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, that... Oh, no. What? Hold on. What? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, hold on. Hold on. No, I was told to put a heat set in there. I was told to put a heat set in there. Yeah, hold on. So, hold on. I was told to put... Oh, okay, I was... God damn it. Okay. So, I accidentally put a heat set where just the screw hole is supposed to go. Which, if I had a fully threaded... Well, even the... Balls. Alright. Yeah, I was saying, the good news is... I have somewhere... Alright. Yeah, the good news is I have this heat set tip. Okay, thank you, autofocus. Which came with my Voron stuff, my LDO kit, and is specifically for helping yank heat sets. Ah. That's annoying, though. Like, I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, that piece, there's only that hole. That must be the part. And it's like, nope, file revisions. Printed the latest files, my ass. Okay, so... Take out the other heat set tip, put on this one. Does this one? Yeah. come on. Yeah, that's... Damn it. Like, if I had, like, a... If I had a 50mm button head... then I could probably just send it in and it would work. 50mm socket head, 35... Yeah, that smells kind of awful. But that's because there's a bunch of old plastic on there. I do not appear... Oh, hold on. I bet I know where there is a 50mm button head. Because that might be the less risky option here. Well, those are 50mm. I think that's 50. I do have some 50mm fully threaded socket cap. But no button head. All that shit in something to carry it. Alright, well. Today we're gonna learn. So, this is a threaded heat set tip. Good news, that doesn't look the worst. And you see what's annoying is this, like... This heat set went in like it was supposed to be there. It's like, oh yeah, this is where I go. It was not supposed to be there. Not at all. That's not how that works. Go. Alright. So. And good news. So I cleaned that out a smidge. Said. Ah. Once I clean that out a smidge. Alright. Yeah. It should be okay. Look at that. Where's the bit where it lines up for this? Show me where your holes are. That looks like a hole. Oh, okay. The springs are where they go. And, Alright, lighting is scuffed. Alright, where's the front of this piece so that I can try and... I really hope I don't have to do any sanding, because I don't want to do any sanding, because that seems... let me go look at the... Nope, further down than that. Further down than that. Where's the reference? So the front lip of that needs to be the top lip of the lifter tip, with the spot just above the bottom edge. I mean, I don't know. That looks... a couple of shell stops in the way, but... fuck it. I mean, it seems like you could probably just drop that out to sand it down afterwards, so I'm not going to sweat it. I'm just quite happy that the surgery worked out. Alright. Yeah, I mean, listen, I glued them into the lifter itself, so it seems like that should solve a lot of that. Okay, so this is saying take the back Picatinny rail, which I think is... oh, hold on a minute. Is this the back Picatinny? I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, I guess that's... there's a bit of brim right there. Alright, so... I'll assume that's the right piece because file differences. As shown. Yeah. Preemptive. Okay, you know what? That works when I'm doing like one at a time, but if I'm gonna just do this whole thing. Unrelated. Alright. What's unrelated? Spring gluing or something else? I just watched that bit jump into here. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw nothing pop up. It probably did get auto-modded or whatever. Thanks, YouTube. See. How weird are we talking? I know some weird keyboards. Shit, I've worked on a few weird keyboards. 1, 2. I put the wrong screw. I put the wrong. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Interesting. So it's a ThinkPad-like layout. Yeah. Yeah, that delete key, that... Actually, I guess the entire number is weird, because are those full height, or... Okay, yeah, those are full height keys, it's just the top of them is scrunched in instead of being square. Maybe, yeah. And then the delete and escape are 2U tall. Other than that, it's not that crazy. Like, if you cut off the F row, it would look pretty unstrange. That is a 4 1/4 U spacebar. Yeah. To the barrel back. See, the problem is, I don't know which. Is this the one that's supposed to go up there? Maybe. Yeah, maybe, but like the other direction? Which, yeah, this one I can't put on because the supports just suck. It just sucks. So I'm not doing it. Front Picatinny to the front... Yeah. Well, no, so the problem isn't the built-in supports. Like, the built-in supports are probably okay. The problem is, can I please get some autofocus? Autofocus, please. Okay, close enough. So the problem is Gunny also turned on automatic supports. So there are tree supports inside of the built-in supports. And all of Gunny's tree supports, I don't know what his settings are, but they suck. Like, his tree supports fuse themselves to the other parts. I don't know if you were in here for the... He had tree supports inside of the bar holes. So basically what I ended up having to doing it was essentially, after I tried hammering metal bars in to scrunch them, I just ended up taking the drill and drilling into the surface here to just knock out as much as I could. Is that another message? Yeah. Yeah, that was a pain. That was I'd say the, like, dealing with prints was the majority of Thursday's streaming experience. Anyway, I don't know where these... Yeah, this goes somewhere. It'll go on afterwards. Alright. Final assembly. So... Alright. Grab him in the middle, he says. Okay. Final rotation. Start with the muzzle. Alright? This is the part where I'm gonna just have pieces all over my desk to deal with. You know what? And it's just going to start getting crowded really quick. I'm going to move the mouse. Alright, so muzzle with this bit. M3 by 20. 25, 12, 20. This will be the part where I wish I had two... Well, I do have two drills, but one's an impact driver that has no concept of respecting anything it's drilling into. Alright, what is... I'm just watching while at work. Good way to burn time while making pizza. Wait a minute. Oh. Huh. I just learned what questions are. Yeah. Wait a minute, is that... Oh, is that you? So what do you mean making pizza? You make pizza for work? Also, I guess congrats on finding the channel. Probably wasn't that hard. Not like it's my Discord name or anything. Oh, this is... Lol. Is that in? It's in. I think I'm going into a heat set here. I don't... Oops. Oops. You didn't see that. Yes. Oh. Oh. Well, that's gonna be convenient for... you know, I'm pretty sure you told me that at some point. And I forgot because life is hectic. We are going to just knock down that bit right there. Okay, so we're gonna try doing this again without getting the... There, without getting the thing stuck on the thing. I have longer hex bits I could use for this. I just have to get them out. I maybe should get... Oh no, I feel like now I'll be done with it, but I'll... I have longer hex bits, I have ball end hex bits. I could be using either of those. There we go. Alright. Next. Glennon apparently said he didn't want the extended one. Wait a minute. Okay, I guess now I thread some bars in there. Place the mag tube through here. It doesn't line up. Cool. Okay, well, so what have we learned? ProStrat A scrape this surface out. Fine. Oh. That's a lot less snug than it was the first time put in. Alright, so now, before I put those screws in, put the tube in, and that aligns it. And now I've got orange plastic all over my desk. Alright, we can turn that down to 5. You know, that would have really sucked right there if I'd been holding that a bit too hard and just aggressively pinched myself. There. Got this. Next, place the mag tube. Place the priming grip. See, he's showing this with, like, threaded rods through here, and I haven't put any threaded rods in yet. I should probably maybe do that. That'll be the 12-inch ones. And to make life easier... Oh, did I even have to cut these? I don't think I did. I think I ordered 12-inch... Yeah, the 12 inches were already cut. And then the... Oh, that... Ooh. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, it's fine. It's... the 12-inch ones were already cut, and I cut down the 2-foot ones to 8-inch and 16-inch. Ooh. Well, that doesn't feel very good, so let's try this in. Ah, cool. That doesn't thread in very well. That one threads in alright. Okay, let's play Is It the Threaded Rod? No, it's the children who are out of touch. Oh, okay, it's that heat set that is... scuffed. Alright, well... They make pliers for a reason. This isn't any easier to turn right now. And I don't know how far out this needs to be sticking. Or needs to not be sticking. Oop. Don't mind that. Alright. Hand drill with chuck. Well, I don't want to, like, grab the end of the threads. I realize this is my point. I don't want to, like, chuck it onto the end of the threads. Because that's actually needs to be used. By grabbing in the middle like that, nothing goes there. Alright, try and line this thing back up now. as they're all falling inside. There we go. Alright. Roll back down. Put this. Yeah, that looks right. Ah. Okay, well. Does that need to go on afterwards? Oh. That allegedly needs to go on after I put this on. Oh yeah, Justice, because you haven't seen this yet. Check out my autofocus. Let's... Bruh. Logitech! Holy shit. Yeah, check out what I'm dealing with. This is not my print. This is one of Gunny's prints that I'm dealing with. Why is it like that? Because, I don't know, it lifted off the bed and we couldn't be asked to print a second one to make it not shit. Also, this tube is a very snug fit into this print. I might need to... Yeah, Here, hold on. Where's the bag of shame? Alright, so... Bag of shame... Because there's no light right here. Yeah, look at that. That's... Bruh, Logitech! What? Oh my god. There... Oh, it almost had it. Yeah. Yeah, luckily, like, there was a second one of these. But it's like... Yeah, so I ended up sanding this one down. This... I don't know what's happening here. There's, like, a little bit... There's, like, more friction on the tube than I'd like there to be. So I'm gonna try and just help it start in. Alright. Okay. Those rods look like they are sticking out way more than they should be. I guess let me grab... Yeah, how much leeway do I have for rod stickage in this piece? Alright. I gotta thread those rods in like a 1/4 inch. Which I hate that I just used that as a value, but... Oh. The tube and this piece are now... Yeah, okay. Well... The tube lives on that piece. While I'm here, I need to see... Okay, there's quite a bit of fitment there. I think what I'm going to try and do is set the depth of the tube because it's stiffer in here than it is in the front. Set the depth of the tube based off of this piece and just... There we go. That's too far. Okay. Anyway, that is probably far enough down. Let's... I won't be able to tell. Okay, that one's good. The other one... Yeah, unfortunately I can't grab it with the inside of the jaws. Okay. I have a thought. Let me just get out every single set of tools I own here. So. No, other side. Oh, that doesn't want to start on that side of the rod. Why? Alright, so. We have a nut. We have second nut. Voila, we have jammed nuts. I think that's spinning the jam nut rather than actually functioning. Alright. Get these back out. Alright, we have a really tight jam nut now. Now... There we go. That seems probably good. No. Undo the jam nut. Ta-da. I will say, building this, I miss, Actually, why did I put that away? I can use that. I missed my Battle Axe build. Battle Axe build was like stupidly easy compared to this. With the right size. I don't know what size socket you use for fucking... That's a 9, so not 3/8, yeah, for SAE bolts and shit, yeah. But Battle Axe was so easy compared to the complexity of this. Now, 3/8 is, like, huge on these. Because, like, a 9mm was a little too big for it, and a 10mm is a 3/8. Alright, so... that one needs to be rotated... no, it's number 8. Okay. That one is on. I don't know, like, how snug does this need to be? Like, I assume that, like, up here you have a lot of structure. So, like, I don't really need to be reefing on these. Like, just basically get it on, get it touching the print, and then tighten it to the direction it needs to face, and that's probably good. 0.5 Ugga Dugga. Okay, I can... like, yeah, like that polycarb tube is doing a lot of work for the structure of this. Bonk. Get this piece and make sure it lines up. Ah! This part here is so thin. Oh, I was gonna say, I think I can see the nut. Yeah, I can... It's so thin I can see the nut through the print there. Pretty... Ooh. And this part is so thin, I can see the nut through there, too. Ooh. Alright. Yeah, I don't really want to, like... I could crank each of them down another, like... 1/6 of a turn, which will still leave them aligned. Just... There we go. Make this time... Yeah. Alright. Next... This actually goes on. Your fingies on the parts to flare them out. Okay. That is in. Do I need to do anything with this before I... Hey, Justice. Look at this and tell me what I did wrong. I've held it there long enough. I can start working it. Yeah, I need a pump grip. Oh. Alright, you know what? I don't even need the ratchet for this. Like, I feel like if I'm using the ratchet, I'm probably tightening it too much. And also... Alright, take this. Oh, yeah. Sneak that in there. Yep. Alright. Gently. Alright. Okay. Oh, wow, that is much more annoying to deal with those nuts with the priming bars in the way. I might not be able to get a ratchet on there. Now I'll be able to get a socket. Oh. Me just noticing that my light bar is just strictly making the view for Instagram shittier. Alright, so spin these down. Finger snug. And then give him a couple of mini duggas. Good thing here. Which way does that one point? Cool. Yeah. Neat thing about using the socket adapter in the driver is I can look at the hex shank to see how far of an angle I'm turning. So if I'm like, oh, I need to go till that side is flat, I go till the hex shank is flat. Alright. Does this fit? It... There we go. Yeah, that fits. This part is, like, way up here, though. Why is that like that? It's, like, not quite lined up. Too much. Alright. Yeah, what is this hitting on? Oh, is it? I understand. No, but it's still, like, kicked up, and I don't... Huh. Weird. Are you supposed to put little screws into there? That's gonna suck. Yeah, weird. Is that purely the hole alignment that's doing that? That's... Like, I don't know if you can see, like, how far... Yeah, you can. You can see how far off that top is. That's... I wonder why that's like that. Oh well. Alright. What are these holes for? No. Are those supposed to have heat sets? No, because there's no matching holes over here. Okay. Just old file revision things. Alright. Alright, making sure... We're gonna play, does this feed smoothly? Yeah, I think that's probably... I think that's okay. Alright. Do number 4 screws, so down... Only 2, there's like 4 screw holes. Like, I won't argue, because I don't like these screws, so I won't complain about putting fewer in, but there's 4 screw holes. That implies that 4 screws are involved. Also, that means that I should... So many... Ream these out. I don't think I'll put screws in that side, but I might at least make sure the holes are out in case I do. Alright. Snug. That moves. I don't think I quite realized how many extra metric screws I gave people, because, like, there's just the baggies so far. Like, I'm sure several of those end up being used, but I just kind of went, yeah, I bought this bulk order and split it between y'all. Y'all are getting them. I mean, yeah, because, I mean, just the way it worked out, I did. I did just buy a, No, I didn't even buy an organizer. I found a seller. Ooh. Ooh, that's tilted. I won't blame it on Gunny's print. I found a seller that was just like, yeah, 180 of just common metric sizes, so I was like, oh, okay. And I think the 50mm ones, they were like 120 for a pack of, like... And it came out way cheaper than buying even an assortment and splitting it up between everyone, so I'm just like, okay. I'm gonna buy this, it's gonna be cheaper for y'all. Downside. Downside. Y'all end up with a ton of them. Alright, you know what? It doesn't call for those 2 screws in there. But the way this is, like, splitting apart like this, I kind of think I don't know. I don't know if I should. Also, damn, that is stringy. Gunny. Gunny, your print settings are killing me. Do some string elimination via... Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Okay. Uh, is this the Picatinny that would go here? I think this would go here. Cool, so I'm not even sure. Whatever. Like I said, I'm not worried about that. Or that one is just too scuffed to use. Alright. Yep. So what we're going to do, move these forward so this is supporting it. So I guess here's a question for you, Justice. I know you're selling your current breacher and or have sold it. Are you going to build the currently unreleased remix that is floating around on Collective? Or are you just out of the breacher entirely? Okay. I'll say yeah, so those are fun. But like you know, the one there, the one Chance built, like, I don't know, I passed up the breacher. Just kind of like, I don't know, I'm not that sold on the tube shoddy, and I think I'd rather wait for the eventual box mag. But the for that remix, I'm like, ooh, that's a good remix though. Especially in the correct color scheme and everything. Two screws. Thread them in till they bottom out in the hole. Oh. Now, hold on a second. Did... Oh. Yeah, so Silly, in the instruction guide, Silly never actually said to install the first two threaded rods. I guess start with this, so... Alright, that one doesn't want to thread on. Why? Okay, that end looks a little scuffed up. Yeah, it is. It is kind of big, but just like... I don't know. I hope I installed the right size heatset here. Huh. Yeah, I did, because that side works. So I think these heatsets are just really picky about the threaded rod, or they're really upset about this being not perfectly lined up. Okay, I know what I need to do. I need to undo these two screws. slide this out a little bit. Do I have an extra piece of threaded rod here? No. This one doesn't want to go in. I'm wondering why. Oh, okay. It's going in now. I think it's just the alignment with this piece. I think this piece, I wonder if there's a layer shift or something. It's just not happy. At least on the bright side, I think these just stick out the end, so if it's a little bit not quite threaded all the way. Oh my god, hand twisting these kind of sucks. Yeah, I think if these aren't all the way in, it'll be fine. Let me scroll ahead and see. Well, maybe not. I might have to care about this. Get the stock. There's a lot of hole depth in there. I think it'll be fine. Gently drop that down. Oh yeah, this is not... Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, this... One of these pieces is warped in a way that makes things not quite happy, but... it'll be okay. Alright. Take this bit with all the moving bits. I do kind of appreciate how, like, all of the... You get all of the moving bits just concentrated here. I didn't put those screws back in. Alright. Those screws are back in. How terrible is this view on here? Oh. Instagram's getting the optimal viewpoint. What am I hitting? Oh. It's the ejector. Let me look at this again. So does this happen to be hollow the entire way where you could slide it on from the front? Or I wonder if this piece is... Oh wait, well, I mean maybe. The supports look like they go the whole way. Let me... Yeah, like I can't even, on this piece, I can't even slide these up under the support because there's tree supports inside there. But yeah, I guess this is hollow the entire way. You can probably just slide this on from the front like that. I hope. I'll feel a little bad if this If you have to take it completely apart to work around that, if that's a little bit mid. Alright, that piece is slid on. We can now throw some more screws up top of here. Two, three, four. Alright. Oh yeah, you'll appreciate this. Here's the Breacher logo for the side, which should have done it in inverted colors, but whatever. That's choice. But look at that! Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think I'm near the end of it, I think. Like, yeah, nice and flat. But I'm sure if things go badly from here, you'll see me yelling about it in Discord. I don't know why I have these out. I just noticed there's some brim on here. Nice. Alright. I think I probably would wait till later to do this part, but this will also help hold this piece together right now. So I'll at least put a couple of the screws in. Why won't that go in the hole? Whatever, I will figure it out here in a second. Ooh. That's fine. Alright, 2 screws in. Next. Slide the grip on. I'm sure that piece is here somewhere. Found it. That surface that it sits on is... Oh, a second. Ugh. Well, it's a good fitment, but... Alright. Cleaned it up a little bit. I realized... No, good enough. Oh. Alright. Oh. That's not good. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that to me. Oh. Come on, let me go. That'll be fine. Okay. Which way does this go? This goes in this way. That's... snug fit on all those rods. But... Alright, trigger's in place. I just gotta... Yeah, a second. Yeah, set this on the floor and give it a... pushing. Ah, there we go. Alright. Make sure the catch on the catch rod is facing down. It mostly is. We're gonna... Alright, do that. Oh. Alright, so... I don't really want to do this more than once. I might have a spare piece of K25 that'll work for this. Although probably not. I'm just gonna... Alright. So. For a breacher, you need like a little bit more than a talon claw length K25. The talon claw length is 5.5 inches, which would put us right there. I'm going to... Your purchase is Spotify. Okay, that's my Spotify for the month. Alright. So I'm gonna go like more like 6-ish. Just because it will set a little bit over time. And this will help with the spring rattle. So, alright, safety squints, everybody. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. It'll be a little stiffer than your default. Alright, this part is kind of annoying to do like on the desk, so have enough desk for all this. All right, so we need that to get started. And screw holes. All right, and there we go. Yeah, you got none of that. I'm holding this on a bit with one hand. If there is, actively a little bit of spring force on it. We're gonna just toss on a couple nuts and get it finger tight. Out of camera, but I'm, again, holding this in an awkward spot to... Oh, that's annoying. Okay, those are slightly loose because they're just sort of... I should have put thread locker on those. And this one hits up here. Silly, why did you tell me to put that one on? That one hits. This... Like, this one up here hits the whatchamacallit, so I have to take this off. Which is fine, now that I've got... Now that there's stuff in there holding it, that part's not important. What size screw is this? Is this a 25 or a 20? That is a 25. Alright, this one doesn't need thread locker because it is going into a heat set. That's a hunk of spring for my hunk of spring collection. So, downside is... Oh, no, this will work. I'm gonna snug this up. Don't need that right now. That can go over there. Don't need these anymore. Yeah. Alright, doesn't look like I need to drill out any more holes, so I'm gonna put this back in the bit case, and then put that in the tool bag. Got my hacksaw fell over. There we go. Alright. Alright. Yes, I don't know how much... I guess technically there's a ton of space that I could just unthread those bottom ones into, but that's kind of awkward to work around. It does tighten at least, like... I don't know how snug that needs to be, but like... I seem, snug enough you don't have any real gaps to worry about. Alright, and then, like the other end, it has to be lined up a certain way. I think I've accidentally got half of them lined up how they need to be. Actually, more than half. I got them pretty much entirely lined up how they needed to be. That's... Don't ask me how I did that. I didn't plan that. Alright. Hey, there was plenty of slop there. Okay. And this needs... Silly... What does this need? I'll test the prime to see if the plunger catches. You know, that's a good point. Alright. It catches! First try! Can't see shit, YouTube. And then... Cool. Are these supposed to be... Oh, that's awful. Snug. I need to have that... I wonder if it's this shell scraping. Or... if it's the front surface of the plunger tube. Let me grab another shell. Alright. Oh yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, the plunger tube might need to be further back in. That is scraping on part of the print, I believe. Cool, give me a second. Oh. I'm gonna push that back in. Yeah, that shell just isn't coming out. Why is that shell not coming out? Oh, is it because of this? Like, this seems fine. This seems like a reasonable amount of force involved. Counter. Alright. Yeah, like, as if I push that, the movement inside of the plunger tube is fine. It's just... I don't know why that bounced. Possibly because it's upside down. And like, right now, it's scraping enough that it doesn't want to... Oh... Ah, that's annoying. It's like, it's so close. But like, not quite. This one almost looked like it's sitting too far in. I'm thinking it's that middle section there. Like, I think that is... So it's built, but not quite... That right there, scraping, I want to say that was something that was addressed like that. Not quite the right angle. Let me go look. I can pull up the CAD files. See what we're working with here. It's a shame, because it is like... Yeah, like that shouldn't be that tough to get in there. And that, to me, is showing that the angle of entry into the tube is not what it's supposed to be. Which makes me think it's a file version issue. Which might also be why that piece is, like, not quite aligned. Oh, did it slip? Second one slipped past. What is going on here? So it's like... It sort of works, and it sort of doesn't. Which is real annoying, because that means I basically have to take a lot of it apart to do anything to it. Let me pick this shell up. I will give it a shot, like, see if it shoots anything. Do I get some rifle floating around? What a question. I have an entire bucket of rifle right here. Do I have any loose rifle? Is the question. Yeah, at least do that before I head off, so... 1 rival, 2 rival, 3 rival. Can technically fit 4 in this shell, but... So, load it in. It shoots. It functions. It's just... The feeding is, I'm pretty sure... I was told that updated files had been used. I am sitting here looking at what this is doing, and I'm going, I don't think updated files were used. I think these are still some of the original files that were in the beta release. So, I think what's going to happen is somebody is going to reprint some files, and I'm going to have to work on it more. And then it'll be functional. It's just a bit of a bother. That it doesn't just work immediately. But I mean, you know, that's what we were expecting back with the beta access. Like, you know, we were expecting that this is how it was going to be. It's just, it's, you know, several months past the beta when this particular kit is being assembled. So... Ooh. Oh my god, can we get in the... Oh well, like... This shell. Yeah, it's just getting partway caught there, and there's like nothing in the way of it. And like this shell tooth is, but then it just sits there. It just sits partway at the exit and just doesn't come out. Which makes me think it has to do with the geometry right there. Which, if I remember correctly, was addressed at some point. So... That's a shame, because, like, otherwise, you know... Good looking build. And like it shoots hard, it just doesn't feed the shells. Yeah, let me see if I can get this mostly in frame to show off before I... Oh. There we go. That's a... It's a good shot for Instagram. My camera didn't zoom out enough for this YouTube, so, you know. Yeah. Looks neat. I have an unfortunate feeling about how much of it I'm going to need to be taking apart to do stuff. Actually, I guess if I'm lucky, it'll be the 4 nuts out of back here. And then just slide this entire section off to get to this piece. I think it's going to be this piece right here. That's the problem. Especially, like, particularly where it doesn't align with the rest of the muzzle. I think that's the problem. And hopefully not this piece, because this piece is where all of this shit is, like, hooked onto. But, yeah. Yeah, we tried. It's built. I did build a breacher. Did I build a functional breacher? Not yet. But, yeah, there is an attempt. Ah, cool. And the Logitech is like, yeah, what is autofocus? Yep. So, stop! Fucking stop. Oh my god, Logitech. Killing me, Logitech. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there. This was... Donut tries to build a breacher. I tried. I got most of the way there. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm gone most of this week. Visiting family for, not quite Thanksgiving. And then next week, I don't know. I don't have anything planned yet. It might just be generic electronic builds work, or or CAD stream. I might do CAD for a while. But yeah. Yep. See you, nerds.